So if you could talk a little bit about what the decision was like for you to come here, like what kind of things factored in that made you want to come to Southwestern as opposed to somewhere else?
For me, a big piece was I was also considering CIS in San Francisco, which is a place I'd been for a long time. And I like the idea of being out in the Southwest. I like the idea of being in a smaller town and being in the high desert and the mountains. You know, it just seemed like the right kind of place to study this kind of thing. Instead of the busy city, I really thought that being in a place that was more conducive to a contemplative state of mind would help me.
And what's it been like in terms of just living, I'm just curious, living in the city of Santa Fe? It's something, honestly, that we forget to brand sometimes, and it's a pretty incredible place. You talk a little bit about what it's like living in Santa Fe.
Well, it's definitely, it's a small city. You know, it's great because it's got that small town kind of feeling, like you bump into people you know, like everywhere that you don't expect to. And yet it has, you know, it's a destination for people all over the world, you know, so there are lots of different interesting things going on in terms of the art scene, the visual arts especially, and also it's a great place for I don't know, that meditative quality. Like people here really seem to be interested in that kind of a spiritual quest, you might say. There seems to be a lot of interest in that in this town.
So the lifestyle is kind of slower than on a coastal place.
Yeah, the lifestyle is, I'd say it's slower for sure than in a coastal place in Santa Fe. And
can you talk a little bit about what your experience has been in classes here, and just in general?
Yes, in classes here, one of the things I enjoyed the most was the format. A lot of the classes are smaller, and we're not just sitting behind desks, we're sitting like in a circle, and we're all equals. We all get to share our stories with one another when we're comfortable doing that, and learn from each other, and learn about ourselves in the process. And I feel like the teachers treat us like equals. That we're real people who have opinions and experiences that need to be respected and are taken very seriously in helping us to develop our unique identity as a counselor. Not just everybody has to fit into this way of doing things, but everybody has their own unique way of healing. And this school helps to bring that out in everybody. Yeah.
How about, could you speak a little bit, you're in second year, could you talk a little bit about your clinical training and your practicum internship, or, you know, seeing clients, a little bit about what the clinical piece has been like?
The clinical piece has been, I thought, really intense and very well done at this school, in the sense that we have our whole counseling center here, which is a separate entity in the community that's really well known, and it's a great sliding scale clinic, so everybody knows about it, and it really reaches a lot of the population that couldn't otherwise get services. So we see a really wide variety of people there. It's also a nice place. It's a very pleasant place, and there's a lot of help. Everyone who works there is willing to help you, especially those initial nerves of seeing your first client. You know, we all go through that together, and so we can all share in some of the anxiety and the strengths that come out when we find that we can get through that and do a good job. You know.
That sounds sweet to me.